Hi, and welcome to Rabbit and Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I'll be doing a collective read today. So, if you've been with me before, you'll know that I've been putting in chapter markers in the timeline as well as the description box below. For some reason, sometimes they don't show up on the timeline, but they're in the description box below. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm a very small channel, so every watch, every view, like, share, and subscribe is very much appreciated. And if you're new to my channel and new to tarot, I do have a little bit of a tarot intro, nothing intense, just some food for thought. So, tarot and oracle are tools for self-reflection. At least that's how I look at it. They're only meant to help guide you when you're making decisions with your own inner moral compass in pursuit of your own personal brand of happiness. I'm an intuitive reader, so while I do know the cards, I often get messages from my ancestors, from guides, from the universe, if you will. And since there's only so many cards in a deck, sometimes my guides or spirits will pick the closest approximation and then tell me to relay in the way that I hear it. It's up to you to decide whether or not it resonates. And here's the thing, sometimes it won't always resonate because I'm tapping into the energy of a lot of different people. So if it doesn't resonate, that's okay. If it does, then let it kind of mull around and see what you take from it. But most importantly, I want you to know that you are the maestro of your own destiny. And I'm someone who believes in fate and destiny. I do. But I believe it only takes you to certain points. Like it affords you the opportunity to walk a path, to go through that doorway, to choose to do or say something. But ultimately, it is up to us because we are co-creating our own reality and writing our own story. So don't ever give your power up to a tarot reading. It's a guide. And then you just kind of take that information, let it marinate, and then make decisions based on your own personal brand of happiness because you are the maestro of your own destiny and you always have free will and full autonomy. Okay, so let's get into it. I wanted to do this reading last night, but I just couldn't get it together because the editing was going to take too much time. And I'm trying to do this thing where I don't edit my videos. Normally, I get really self-conscious about, oh my God, I cut the deck and it was on twin flames. I was gonna say I get really self-conscious when I'm thinking and I say in readings, but then it sometimes gets all choppy and then I'm like, that's not a very good viewing experience. So I'm gonna try my best to not edit at all and just keep it loosey-goosey. But what I was gonna do was I was gonna split the deck and then show you all for pre-shuffle what the energies we're working with. So right now we have a closed deck and then we have twin flames. So we're looking at a reading for twin flames. So I guess we should get into it. Let me flip that card back around. Oh my God! I flipped the card around. It was karmic relationship and twin flames. I guess we're getting into it, y'all. I guess we're getting into it. Let me make sure all of these cards are facing the right way before I actually do all of this stuff. My goodness, already. Okay, so we're going to shuffle, cut the deck, and then look at what we have again. Okay, so cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head, and then karmic, fleeting, triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. So with this cassette and this karmic relationship, this really, really and truly makes me feel like this has to do with someone who is in a current karmic relationship that is daydreaming about what their life could be. Now, if that resonates already, I did a reading, I think, was it the 14th? I think it was the 14th. But it might have been, anyways, I think it was April 14th. It had to do with someone in a relationship that was unhappy and was constantly thinking about this other possibility. This feels like what this is. It's almost like as if the person in a relationship, this karmic relationship, is no longer thinking, well, this is the best that I can do, or I might as well. And I do feel like there's settling energy here. And I'm getting a little bit of Eight of Swords from this. Someone sitting kind of in that energy, kind of replaying the events of what has transpired and how they got to this situation. Again, to be in a karmic, it doesn't mean that the person is bad. It just means that they're there in your life specifically to help help you learn lessons. Sometimes those lessons are really hard, and sometimes those lessons are, hey, you deserve better than what you have. You deserve better than what you've been given, XYZ. So, okay. Okay, we'll do it one more time, and then we'll cut the deck again. Okay, let's cut and then look. Okay, so we have kisses and the snake. So kisses, unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. And then the snake, competition, enemy, clever, look over your shoulder, the other woman. Okay. My goodness, could this be any more about someone in the collective being in a karmic connection? You may not be in a relationship with that person. You may be in an entanglement, a situationship, but for whatever reason, it seems like the collective, whoever this is happening, it might be you, the viewer, or someone that you're connected with. Someone is actively in a karmic connection while also realizing that they have someone in their life, or they know of someone that they would resonate 100 with, but yet they're still with this karmic. I mean, I don't really know what to make of that, other than the fact that now I want to do like I was going to do a twin flame reading anyways because of the cards as we started, but now I want to do, okay, what is the divine lunar energy and what does the divine solar energy? I tend to use those terms because sometimes people get a little uncomfortable with the divine feminine and divine masculine, but the lunar energy is often referred to as divine feminine, and the solar energy is often referred to as divine masculine. So I'm just going to use lunar and solar energy. I may also say divine feminine and masculine, or counterparts. Just put yourself in the position that you feel that you resonate the best with, because we all have both energies. It's kind of like if you imagine we have a yin and yang in our heart space. We are a balance of both. So I suppose let's just let's get into it. I'm gonna pull four cards, 2 and 2 for each side, and let's see what this connection is feeling. Okay, so we'll start with the divine solar masculine energy, divine masculine counterpart. What are they currently feeling or experiencing? Oh. I want it to fall on the table. Okay, so we have not enough, frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues, and jealousy. Okay, so we just said someone might be in a karmic relationship. It feels like the divine masculine or the divine solar, this counterpart on this side, may be the one stuck in a karmic connection. Again, they don't have to be in a relationship, but they might be in some sort of involvement, entanglement, situationship, or it could be a relationship. But one of the reasons why this energy seems to be there is because of the fact that they have this deep-seated kind of not enough, that like they have a self-worth issue. So they're where they are because I'm hearing of convenience. I'm also hearing because they don't think they deserve any better. So they're really kind of wrestling with this energy. Sorry, I feel like there's more there. That's why I'm pausing to see if there's more coming through for that. Okay, so I guess we're just going to move on to divine lunar or divine feminine. This counterpart. Okay, let's get it to fall on the table. There we go. So we have hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistence, and working on it. Okay. So, my goodness, I feel like you all are mirroring each other. While one is in a karmic relationship, I feel like this one, the divine lunar energy, may have just recently, I just heard, demoed a relationship. Okay, those are kind of tough words, honestly. I don't know why they came out the way they did, but demoed a relationship. So this means that this person may have unlinked themselves from something that was not serving them. I'm seeing the image of like an older building, like in an open field, and they are demoing the building in order to rebuild it because there is sabotage and rebuilding. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm here. Okay, so not sabotage. No, no, no. They are demoing though. They didn't. Okay, hold on. I just want to be. My guides are like, no, 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 no. Okay, not sabotage, but they did end this relationship because they wanted to build a stronger foundation. So one is working on self-worth. This side, the divine lunar side, or if this is the side you resonate with, recognizes that you deserved more, and so they ended a relationship. And it's like I'm hearing, it's like a construction site. They had to break something down in order to build up a stronger foundation. Okay. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay. Let's go back to the divine masculine. Oops, let me make sure these cards are all facing the right way again. What is going on? There we go. All right. For divine masculine or solar energy. There we go. So we have ascending, transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, and preparing for union. Okay, so this is a phase that's ending for them. They are ready to move on to the next phase. They're ready to step into the 2.0 version of themselves, self-actualization, self-mastery. I mean, quite literally, essentially. When I hear ascending too, I also want to say that this person, I just heard awakening. Take it as it resonates. It could be awakening to their own inner possibility, awakening to their own inner strength, awakening to perhaps they have some latent, like latent telepathic abilities, or awakening to the possibility of, or understand, or pursuing the path. There we go, pursuing the path of spirituality. Regardless of what it is, it feels like through this old phase of constantly thinking that they're not enough, they're finally awake. I just saw Skyrim. Oh, good, you're finally awake. It's like they're realizing, finally, I can look with truly open eyes and recognize I have the potential. I don't need to operate in this lack mentality. Okay, good for you, Solar. Okay. What do we have for divine lunar energy? Okay, getting a little fussy. Wake up the cards. There we go. We have engagement ring. Engagement, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, and union. I love this. Okay, so it, again, when I say mirroring, we are doing a twin flame reading right now. So if two sides were ever mirroring, this is it. One person was working on self-worth, their lack mentality, and kind of breaking from the chains. Ooh, I just heard pulling these chains from my body is harder than you know. That's a lyric from a song. Pulling these chains from my body is harder than you know. But they've done it, or they're doing it. It's like I heard excavation, like they're digging deep and pulling forward. And every time that they address something deep inside that they know that they need to, it's leading them every day to the highest version of themselves. And when I say highest version, if you're not deeply spiritual, it is just the potential of happiness, of inner strength, of belief in self, literally repairing your self-esteem. And over here, we have the divine feminine, or the divine lunar, who recognizes their worth and recognizes that, whatever situation they were attached to, they were enduring, that they were connected to, wasn't where they were supposed to be at that time. And so they've it's a construction site. They've demoed an old structure that didn't work for them, and they're trying to find the right assets, the right tools to build up something new and something strong, something lasting, something that can weather, you know, any future storm. And now it's like they've upgraded, they're ready. Oh my God. So many songs. I'm hearing that Counting Crows song now. I think the song is called Colorblind. And there's a part in the song where it goes, I am ready, I am ready, I am ready, I am. That's what I hear. So over here, I'm hearing, pulling these chains from my body is harder than you know. And over here is I am ready. So both were put in the work. Both are putting in the work, but now I feel like they're getting closer to this energy of having a healthier view of themselves, having a higher self-esteem, recognizing the sacredness and strength within. And in that, there is vulnerability. Vulnerability is strength. Even if some people don't really see it that way or doesn't feel that way, it is a strength. And over here, this person knows their self-worth, but they're ready to build something long-lasting for the long haul. All right. Let's get into the tarot. Let me also make sure all my cards are facing the right way, because I don't like when a reversal comes out and the deck itself is reversed. So I feel like that's like a false reversal. So I'm just going to, sorry, I should have done this before, but I also said I wasn't going to edit my things because I wanted it to be more genuine to the experience of how Angel reads. So this is me also being unprepared. This is what I would normally edit. But for the sake of posting faster and getting out a genuine message, y'all have to be here for this. Okay, let's make sure all of these are facing the right way. And I'm going to be using this deck is called, well, actually, I think it's from a tarot box set, and it's called like the Spice box set. Like, learn tarot with me. It's one of the first tarots that I had, and I really loved it. And so I just keep buying it because I love the cards. I think I've owned this deck like 4 times, and I will continue to buy it. Oh my gosh, why did I wait so long to do this? Sorry. I really want to put in that SpongeBob meme. 10 hours later. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So we got that. And we'll do the same for... Oh, I guess the Divine Solar Energies deck is totally fine. It was just the lunar one that was all cattywampus. Okay. Let's go. Divine Lunar Energy. Let's get some energy... let's get some cards on what the energy is for Divine Lunar as it stands right now. Okay, so we have the 9 of Swords in reverse. So this is, I'm sorry, I've bent the card. Oh, gosh. 9 of Swords in reverse. This is coming up out of, honestly, I just heard coming up out of chasing energy. Like, I know the 9 of Swords is about staying up late night and circle thinking over the things that you shoulda, coulda, woulda done. And I do believe that was the Divine Lunar Energy for a long time. Like, I miss them so much. I wish they would just come forward. Why haven't they messaged me? And constantly looking at your phone and staying, like, it interrupting your sleep pattern. Like, it's like it was an energy that you couldn't shake. They were always present. But now I feel like Divine Lunar Energies, you've released that. Like, that circle thinking isn't there. I'm feeling a calm, honestly. I'm feeling a calm similar to like a mantra of in divine timing, in divine timing. You're no longer a slave to this repetitive like thinking. You've allowed space. The chaser energy is dissipating. You're allowing space so that the runner can step forward. This is what I'm getting from this. Again, this is one of those moments that I know what the 9 of Swords means, but the message that I'm getting specifically from my guides is that the chasing energy is coming to an end. I'm hearing standing still in your sacredness. All right, let me go ahead and get the the solar energy. Let's see what's going on with our solar. Okay. What is the divine masculine or the solar energy experiencing or feeling currently? Oh, that's a lot. We'll take this one because it came out first, but we will do some honorable mentions. So, hold on, let me make a little bit more space because I feel like we might be grabbing more cards. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles. Oh, I didn't show you. We have the Two of Pentacles. So this, okay, divine solar energy has come up out of a lack mentality. This is an old phase, and that they're ascending into a new version. Again, it could be ascending, it could be awakening, or just leveling up. However you want to say it. They are improving their own self-image, their own self-esteem. They're being kinder to themselves. They're understanding they deserve more than what they've been accepting or what they've been given. And so now we're at the point in which the divine solar energy is contemplating what should be done. Like, what should be done? How should I proceed? I have two options, two distinct and viable paths. And I don't believe that this decision is either or, like one is better than the other, because I do believe that this solar energy has one singular goal in mind, but they have two separate paths in their mind, both viable on how to step forward. Now, the honorable mentions that came out were the Strength card, the Lovers card, and the Queen of Swords. So this gives me, when I say honorable mentions, this may be how they be feeling inside. This is what hit the table first, and these may be what divine solar energy or masculine is feeling. They are feeling an empowered sort of inner strength. I'm also hearing like I am ready, but not like I'm ready for something to happen to me. It's like I'm ready to embark. We're here, or here, I am ready. I am ready. In divine timing, whenever it comes to me, I am ready to receive. And here, the strength is like, I am ready to pursue, to take action. That's what I hear. Because what they want to take action towards is this lover energy here. And they understand that there may be some Queen of Swords energy. Not pushback, but, discernment. And that in and of itself takes strength to recognize, hey, I'm going to move towards my divine lunar energy. They may have some questions for me. We may have to have a conversation, but I have strength enough to know that underneath all of the, very discerning, very kind of maybe even a little bit aloof, I understand there's a warm beating heart, and they are owed answers. So something transpired between the lunar and the solar energy, where one is ready to receive, the other is ready to take action. They just need to know how they're going to come forward. And when they do come forward, they understand that there may need to be a conversation, because lunar energy is owed some answers. Okay. So let's continue going. Let's see what lunar has to say. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands. I hear often that this is referred to as the wounded warrior. And that very well could be. I do feel like the divine lunars have endured a lot of heartache and pain. Again, if you resonate with divine lunar energy and even some of that chaser energy, you would understand that this journey has taken a long time. It's been tiring. You're weary. You feel worn out. You almost feel like it's taxing on your body. Like I said, before you were in the energy of constantly being up and focusing all your energy on this subject, or on this connection. But with it in reverse, I felt, and I still do feel, that this chasing energy is over. Now you're at the point of receiving. There's a certain calm. With the Nine of Wands, that is also, it's kind of like, you ever hear that term, I forgive but I don't forget kind of thing? It's like, while this person may be at a point of calm and centeredness and willing to receive, they understand how tiring, how what's the word I'm looking for? See, this is the point which I would edit it out, because I'm sitting here going, the amount of effort, the amount of consistency, the constantly fighting for this connection. They may be lunar energy. You may be in an energy of, I know what I'm worth. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I want out of this union. I'm no longer circle thinking about it. I'm no longer chasing. I'm standing still in my sacredness and my sovereignty and ready to receive. But I haven't forgotten how much effort went into this, how much endurance I have from this journey. And likely a little bit of this energy is why the solar energy understands that there are going to be some questions that need to be answered. I do feel a little bit of the Queen of Swords in here. I do feel it. But again, it's discernment. It's not coldness. It's not quick dismissal. This is, yes, I have been hurt in the past, but I have some questions. I need clarification. This is discerning energy before. And you got to understand, any person, solar or lunar, any person who's experienced pain in a relationship, when a person comes forward, whether or not it was done unconsciously, or because the person had like their own traumas that they didn't realize was hurting the other, there's got to be a conversation. There's got to be clarity. There's got to be vulnerability in order for forgiveness to come through, and so that you all can grow together and grow stronger. And be understanding that I mean a healthy relationship. I don't mean, if you feel unsafe, please, take care of yourself. But let's get back to the reading. So solar energy, where are we at? Oh, I hit the table, but it went to the floor. Do I want to take it? Guides say no. It's got to hit the table and stay there. Okay. All right. So we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. I get it. So the reason why the solar energy is kind of weighing between these two pentacles on how to move forward is because the solar energy knows that in the past with their lunar energy, there was an equal give and take. I'm kind of hearing that there was a hot, cold, or like I'm hearing touch and go. So you know what? It could be that communication was sparse, or like you would be in communication with each other and then all of a sudden it's just dry. There's nothing. So they're trying to calculate what's the best way to come forward after they've done some healing, because they understand in the past they hadn't like met the energy. Like, again, I'm hearing hot, cold, hot, go, hot, cold, touch and go. So communication might have been sporadic and not consistent. Okay, Lunar, what do you have to say? I heard, ain't that the truth? Oh, Ace of Swords. Isn't that the truth? That is exactly what I heard. So that's confirmation for this. Divine Lunar knows and says, yeah, that energy was not consistent. Oh, and that's what there, the conversation, that Queen of Swords that came over here, that honorable mention. The solar understands there needs to be conversation as to why that behavior was done. The hot, cold, the touch and go. Okay, Solar, what else you got to say? Okay. King of Swords. Yep, he is ready. The King of Swords shows he is ready, or they are ready. This is just the card. I'm just saying it because the card is the King of Swords. They are ready to step forward with the most amount of truth. I will say, though, them coming forward in the King of Swords, yes, is the Divine Lunar recognizing, yeah, that's the truth. And they want to come forward to the Lunar to provide truth. But I do believe that first initial conversation, if you all haven't been in communication, or if like this not equal give and take, if it's been, hot, cold, or touch and go, that they may come in a little bit over intellectualizing it. Maybe it would seem a little bit cold, but that's because I'm hearing from the lunar side that they're a little uncomfortable with how to express their emotions, which is something that they are working on. It's part of their ascension. It's part of their awakening. So when the communication comes in, however it comes in, whether it's a call, a text, an email, whatever, it may seem a little bit not aloof and not mean, just a little bit cold, a little bit matter of fact, because they're operating from a very intellectual standpoint. But they're coming forward with their logic first. That's their strength, their logic, their intellect. So they're coming forward with what they feel comfortable with, and I feel like there's going to be during this conversation that needs to be had. There's going to be an easing into emotion. It's a realm in which the solar isn't super comfortable, but is willing to delve into, because they know the magnitude of the situation and how important it is to have these honest conversations. Okay. Okay, Lunar, what's going on with you? Okay, so we have Judgment. That is the call to action. That is knowing destiny. That is divine intervention. Divine Lunars. I'm surprised that the High Priestess hasn't come out, because it feels so much so with this divine intervention coming over truth. It's almost like you know that this energy is coming towards you. Like you don't believe it. You don't hope it. You know, you can feel it coming forward. It's almost like a divine call. Like your energy is energetically calling your solar home to your heart space. You're hearing the clarion call. I don't even really know what that means. Clarion call? I'm going to have to look that up. Clarion call. But that's what I'm hearing. That you that resonate on this side are connected. You may have some strong intuition, maybe a little bit psychic, definitely spiritual. But again, this Judgment card is divine intervention. It's almost like as if maybe you got like a sign that you recognize as confirmation of your intuition. You felt this person coming forward towards you, energetically moving towards you, and then something in your life gave you the confirmation that, yes, you are correct. That is what's happening. Their energy is moving towards you or being pulled towards you, or your energy is calling it home. Because if they're your twin, they are you and you are them. Okay. There we go. So we have Six of Swords in reverse. So, it's a little bit low down. I'll put it up here. Six of Swords in reverse. Now, normally Six of Swords in the upright means physical movement, like the masculine or the solar energy would be moving house, moving job, moving their situation. But with it in reverse, this is talking about inner, for me, as the card for me speaks to me, it's about inner movement, inner growth. So again, this is confirmation that everything that's happening with this divine solar energy is in pursuit of the highest version of themselves, a self-actualizing, self-mastery, recognizing their inner power, their inner sacredness, standing in their power, having a better self-esteem. Like this, to me, confirms the inner growth in the solar energy. Oh, they recognize by solar energy understands by knowing and loving and being honest with themselves is actually closing the gap between these two energies. Okay. All right. I said earlier that there doesn't seem to be action on the divine lunar side, but there seems to be receptivity. This is that. Three of Wands is waiting. There's ships. I don't know if you can see them. There's ships in the background. This person is waiting for their ships to come in. Again, this feels like the divine lunar energy is finding strength, sovereignty, and sacredness in standing in receiving energy. They're done with the chasing. They're finding power within themselves, and it's like energetically they've opened their arms. They've opened their arms and are and energetically calling their twin flame, their soulmate, their divine counterpart, the red thread of fate, whatever you want to call it. They're calling them home. And being under this Nine of Wands, this is the effort that's been put in, how the journey has been hard and arduous and tumultuous at times. Through all of that, the divine feminine lunar energy has been steadfast. They're no longer chasing, but they haven't gone anywhere. They are in their power. They're just there, open arms, energetically waiting to receive, calling home their soulmate. This is the action that the divine lunar is taking is receptivity. I'm hearing, I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. All right, Solar, what are you going to say about that? Okay, that didn't hit the table. I need one that hits the table. Yeah. So Knight of Cups in reverse. So Knight of Cups upright is about bringing forth an earnest offer of love. But sometimes, depending on the energy, Knight of Cups can also be someone who, I've heard it said before, is drinking from their own cup, getting high on their own supply. With it in reverse, there is some residual fear about whether or not this offer will be accepted. Knight of Cups also, because it's cups, does have intuition. So it's almost like with the Knight of Cups in reverse, they're still worried about whether or not this offer that they're like, how do I want to do this? How do I want to move towards my divine? How do I get there? There's still part of them from an egoic standpoint. And when I say ego, I don't mean arrogance. I mean like literally like the structures of how society or media want you to be, and all these kind of things. They try to shove you in a box to be like, this is what makes a successful adult person. You know, it's letting all of those things push on you and make you feel inadequate with where you are. And from an egoic standpoint, they may be second guessing. Am I ready? Am I doing the right thing? Are they going to accept? And with the Knight of Cups in reverse, it's almost like they don't want to trust their intuition, even though their intuition is telling them, move forward. Move forward. They're a little bit doubting it. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, lunar energy. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I just dropped it on the floor. So we have Four of Pentacles. Okay, I'm hearing protecting my peace. Man, this divine lunar energy is statuesque. Okay? This divine lunar energy is statuesque in their rooting into the ground. You may be an earth sign. I said rooting into the ground. That I'm seeing like a tree with a big oak tree and roots going as far down as the boughs reach to the sky. I'm seeing deeply grounded, protecting my peace. They are not moving from where they are done chasing. I'm hearing I am done chasing. I am in the space and the energy of receptivity. I've done my work. I know my worth. I can no longer chase, as in like text, call, check their social medias, or energetically chase, which is allowing your mind to be consumed with the thought of them. You're focusing on yourself now. You're focusing on your peace. You're focusing on your life path. You're focusing on what makes you happy outside of this person. That doesn't mean that the divine lunar energy has forgotten, because I keep hearing as almost like a mantra on the side, in divine timing, when it's right. I also just heard it's not a question of if, just when. Divine timing. Until then, they are protecting their peace. They are keeping to themselves. They are focusing on self. It's a little bit of a protective energy. Okay. All right, Solar, what do we got? You got the Empress. Under the Two of Pentacles. This solar energy knows who you are, recognizes your worth, recognizes your importance in their life. Underneath the Two of Pentacles is telling me I need to figure out how to get here. What is the best way? I sometimes doubt myself. I sometimes doubt my own intuition. Will they accept what I have to say? I'm feeling a lot of like false starts with this. Like they maybe they're texting you or writing you an email or picking up the phone to call, and at the last minute they're like, oh, just not yet. You know what I mean? But there is, and let me be clear, there is growth within this person. They understand that they came from a place where they were being, where they were in a, that they were in lack mentality, that they were overly critical of themselves, but they're moving, or they're awakening. Again, that Skyrim meme. Oh, good, you're awake. Now you can start your journey for real because you understand solar energies. You understand, or they understand, that they have power and sacredness and sovereignty within them. They know who you are. They want to get towards their lunar energy. They do still have moments, though, where they doubt themselves. There is inner growth. So this person is still working on themselves. And in their own way, divine feminines and divine lunars, you are doing the same thing. It's taking a concerted effort, a very real effort, a test of your character, if you will, to not message, to not chase, to not step forward, to be at peace with yourself, to find peace within yourself without movement forward, to stand in the place of receptivity and be like, I'm not going to chase anymore. What I need to do is focus on myself. Continue to find peace and power within. This is not cutting them off. This is simply being like, when the time is right, the chips will fall as they may and fall into place when they are ready. Okay, so let's get some oracles. We'll do 2 for this and 2 for that. So I'm going to use this twin flame oracle card. I'm just trying to get my hands on all the cards because cards are a little bit hard for me to handle. I have tiny little hands, little kid hands. Okay. Okay, so we've got home, cozy, warm, secure. You feel at home with each other. And then we have union, reconciliation, eternal love. Your time has come. Okay. Take it easy, Angel. I'm getting all worked up. I kept saying it's like the divine lunar is opening their heart space, opening to receptivity and saying in divine timing. And by doing that, energetically, they're calling their soulmate, their twin flame, their divine counterpart home to their heart space. Because energetically and from a soul's perspective, they are you and you are them. They are your twin. They are your soulmate, right? If you're resonating, then great. This is the reading for you. They are energetically calling the soulmate home. And here we have the home card. This person sees you as home. You are their finish line, or they are your finish line. What you're traveling to, this Knight of Cups, who's, starting and then stopping and then starting and then stopping, their end goal, what they see on the horizon is union. This is what the divine solar energy sees. This is my home. This is where I belong. This is where me and my twin can come together. This is ultimate happiness, reconciliation, and union. All right. Let's see what divine lunar energy gives. So the first one came out is hidden path. Detour, slow down, explore, and go in a new direction. Okay, so this hidden path, and for some reason when I see this slow down, explore, go in a new direction, this for me confirms that I'm no longer chasing. This new path that I'm taking is a path towards self, is a path to self-healing. For some reason, if it resonates for you, those that are in the spiritual community, I feel like this is the path of the high priestess. The hidden path, the path you didn't notice before, but that you've been on this entire time. That's what that feels like. We got one more. Oh, there we go. Then we have unawakened, unaware, 3D, ego, darkness. Your twin flame is not ready yet. Okay, so I kept saying they're awakened, and over here I got unawakened. So I don't believe it actually means unawakened. What I do feel that is the very bottom, where your twin flame is not ready just yet. They are still working on what they need to do, as is the divine lunar energy. But that's why this Knight of Cups is in reverse. They're starting, then stopping, and starting, then stopping, because they still have some level of doubt. They still are second guessing. They're still sometimes, even if they are ascending out of their old way of being, and understand this is an improvement from where they were. Okay, where they were was in a dark place. This feels like they've made progress. They're healing. They're not quite ready yet, but they are on their way. They know what their goal is. They understand the direction to walk. They know what their goal post is, but they're not quite ready. And this is why, again, on the divine lunar side, I felt like I was hearing in divine timing, in divine timing, in divine timing, when the timing is right. So they may not be quite ready yet for reunion, or you all may not be ready for reunion, but that does not suggest that you guys aren't already on the path, that you guys both don't already realize what is important and what you're working towards. Okay? So that is the reading for today. Thank you so much for taking a chance on this channel, and thank you so much for riding through this unedited version. I really am going to try and do unedited, because honestly, it takes less time just to do the reading and then put it up on YouTube. It takes hours for me to edit, and I rather just do a bunch of readings and give it out to the people who maybe want to hear it. And you'll just, have to forgive me for my ums and hahs and what's the name of that song kind of things. So thank you for your views, your likes, shares, and subscribes. But most importantly, thank you so much for your energy and being here. This is Rabbit in Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I will see you at the next reading.